Oh, we're ready?
All right.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yes.
We are back for another WCN Live. Let's see. Let me pull it up. And we are live.
It worked faster today.
Yay. There we are. Okay, so welcome back to WCN Live here in the Wilson County News break room area that we have our shows hosted in. Today, my name is Christin Weaver. I'm Director of Operations.
I'm Brandy Hawkins, Customer Service Representative.
And just introduce yourselves real quick.
I'm Christin Wells.
I'm Shawn Wells.
Great, and we are going to be talking to them today about their business, Well Served Texas. But before we do that, we are going to thank our sponsor, Price Chrysler Dodge Ram and Jeep here in Floresville. Price is located on 181, and they have a huge dealership where you can shop cars, careers, and a huge service department. So show them some love and give them a visit. You can find their information in the description of this video. Thank you, Price, for being our sponsor for many weeks now. You can also find them online at www.pricecdrj.com. In addition to that, the next thing we're going to do is draw a winner. So every week when we're on WCN Live, we ask you to post a comment and put your name out there, so that will get you into the drawing for the next week's video. So we have some names that we need you guys to draw us a winner from right there.
Exciting. You can either read it or I'll read it. Whichever. There you go. And today's winner is Valerie Campos.
Valerie, congratulations. She's a great friend. Thank you for watching and being a loyal watcher of this show, Valerie. So don't forget, you guys, share this video, give it a like, but also post your comments so your name will get in there for next week's drawing. Well, with that said, looks like it's time to talk about Well Served Texas today. So let's do our introductions again and tell us a little about yourself. Again, who you are and where you're from. Give us a little bit of that.
My name's Christin, and I'm originally from East Texas in the Tyler area. I went to school in Lubbock. I am a Red Raider.
Cool.
Graduated from Texas Tech, and while I was there, me and Shawn here had some friends that were acquainted. We didn't meet in Lubbock, but we were tied, I guess, both to Lubbock, and I'll let you kind of introduce yourself and go from there.
Go from
'cause
there?
That makes, it'll
Okay.
make a little bit more sense.
That's all right. I'm Shawn Wells. I'm from Lubbock. I left at college right as we got to the point of going into college. I decided it was time to leave Lubbock and try some new stuff and go some new places. Early on, I went to culinary school in Portland, Oregon. I lived there for a little over a year working in high-end restaurants and stuff like that. And so I've always been in the service industry from the beginning. So my first job from like 15 years old, it was always restaurants or some sort of service type industry. Did the culinary thing, then I moved to Idaho, and then I realized this is going to be a challenge. So I decided without people around, right? So I decided to move back to Texas, finish college. I graduated from UTSA, and then so I've been here since about 2000, something like that, down here anyway. And then Christin and I, we bumped into each other at New Braunfels, floating the river with all the groups of friends. Her group and my group kind of mixed together, and we bumped to each other that way, and that's that New Braunfels River.
Story started,
That's where it started.
Pretty neat.
So I moved down here,
Yeah.
and he was working with his father in the business, which is Pronto Process, which we'll tell you a little bit about, because it's kind of how we
Got here.
expanded to Wilson County.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, so it looks like we're getting to that question, which is how did you find your location? How did you end up here in Wilson County? What's the story there?
Well, he has a business in San Antonio. It is downtown San Antonio. We have two small kiddos, and we got tired of, I got tired of driving and being so far from them. Our office is in a little old house, like 100-year-old house. And so it was getting cramped as well. So we had been looking to expand. And a friend of ours mentioned, well, gosh, why don't you rent some space in Floresville? And I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, that does make sense. So
Not sure why we hadn't thought of that before, right?
So
It's a new idea.
actually found the old Carvajal coffee shop, and we went and looked at it and fell in love with it. And so we decided to expand to Wilson County. Pronto Process is a litigation support business, so it made sense that we were right close to the courthouse where, you know, if needed, we could run down to the courthouse and get whatever
needs to be done. Exactly.
Great. Wow. So, and you had actually been living in the area in Wilson County already?
Yes, we've been here 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Or longer.
I think it's longer, but it's 10 or 11 or 12. It's give or
You
take.
were already familiar with the area and then
Oh,
made
yeah.
the move down
Oh, yeah.
here. So, so you say you were drawn to Carvajal's, the building there. What do you know anything about that, its history, or what was it that drew you to Carvajal Coffee?
Well, the building was kind of one of these things where I'm from Lubbock. My family, I had a large portion of family that lived in Idalou, which is right outside of Lubbock, which not many people know about it. It's a blink and you go through it. Anyway, my grandmother owned an old building, and she ran it was kind of like a garage sale constantly. That's what it was. You know, it was just a never-ending garage sale. Anyway, so I've always I grew up playing in it and goofing off, you know, with kids in the building. So I've always liked the old structure buildings in downtown. I just never. It always to me seemed so unattainable, you know, the repairs and everything else. So whenever she brought it up, I originally was just like, I don't think this is going to work out. And then literally the moment we saw it and we got to meet Mr. Carvajal, and it was just everything just perfectly fell into place, and it was a great spot.
We loved the history of
And the
it.
history, we're learning more.
We still have Carvajal up on our window, and I told Alan, Mr. Carvajal, I said, you know, I tried to take it off. I couldn't get it off. You know, how should I go about that? And he said, well, that's actually from the original Carvajal saddle shop. So I asked him if I could leave it up there, and he said, please do. He had taken off the saddle shop, and he was like, oh, I wish I would have left it on there. But we just loved the history of it, and wanted to be a part of the community. And
what a great way to do that.
Yes. Excited to do that.
Oh. So, well then tell us about, we know Pronto Process is there, you're established, and what brings us to Well Served Texas. How did that start? I understand it's fairly new. Tell us a little bit about your gift shop.
Yes, we have an office, of course, Pronto Process out of the building, and we really enjoyed kind of dreaming about, like, what could we do with the rest of the building. It's a huge building. And I sat there and, you know, we have Fluffs on one side, which is a great little cafe, and we had some other stores that recently changed ownership, but you know, we just saw people walking and trying to come in, and I was like, we have to do something fun with the front. So that's kind of where this started. He has a culinary background. We both like food, and so we were like, well, we'll kind of do gourmet foods, and then we just kind of started adding some things that we really enjoyed and liked. So
wow, very neat, very neat. And so how did you come up with the name Well Served Texas?
Well Served, I think, is one of those things where it's been a work in progress of some form or fashion for at least 7 or 8 years. My dad died about 7 or 8 years ago, and he was my partner with Pronto, and so we had to make some real fast adjustments along the way, and, you know, coming up with a name, and Pronto Process is obviously who we are and what our name was, and then we started kind of building from that. And then, you know, that's the whole purpose of our business is, you know, process serving is the byproduct that we do. But what we actually are is it's customer service. That's it. We maintain, and that's the whole thing that we're selling is customer service, right? And then well served and all of that just kind of played
Yeah.
real well together. And then I've got some silly like daydream things about like cooking things that I wanted to do, that I would bottle it, and
Yeah.
that was one of the logos was, but that's, that's a whole nother, that hasn't come to fruition.
Maybe
That's
one
a
day.
daydream. That's in my many of them.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
That's really neat to hear how that comes together and how you both have like a hand in shaping this
Mhm.
Yes.
and
Oh, yeah.
the products that we see and how that's come to be. Well, with that, let's talk about the products that you carry. I can mention a few that I've picked up on, like jellies and jams, freeze-dried candies, barbecue sauces, just a variety, and also very much gift items that you carry.
Yes. Some of our favorite things we brought today, we have a whiskey morning coffee. We loved the story behind that. It does smell like and taste like it has whiskey in it. It does
Mhm.
not, but the coffee
Wow.
beans were roasted in a whiskey barrel.
Right.
And then we have some whiskey and wine design items, so more of that
Wow.
rustic
Mhm.
decor, if
Yeah.
you will. I love the Floresville items. We
Yes.
have a little magnet that's got a peanut and Floresville on
Mhm.
it, and then the
Oh, like something
yes,
like this.
yes, and then
Little metal
the-
work.
This is metal work. Right. Some magnets on the back. Pretty
so
cool.
cute. And
I
then
like
our
this.
towel, "Life is Better in a Small Town," and it has Floresville on it.
Here's
Again,
that coffee.
yes.
Let me see. I'm not getting
Smell
it.
through it.
Can you just- Oh yeah, I did.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the idea.
One of my favorite products is our barbecue sauce. We found this barbecue
Wow.
sauce by accident in San Antonio. It's made in San Antonio and produced there. The place where we got it, they did not sell it to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I think the owners changed, and so when we got well served, kind of up and running, we went to them and we said, "Can we sell your barbecue sauce, in Wilson County and share that with people?" It reminds me of a sauce that my grandmother would make,
Wow.
and
So
so
neat.
we really like that.
Mhm.
We always have a bottle open if anybody wants to try it.
Mm-hmm.
Sauces. We're kind of a condiment family. We put condiments on everything.
I have a condiment problem. This is true. Our refrigerator is mostly condiments. Yeah.
Cool.
So, we buy things
Pretty
that we like, and if we don't like it, we will not carry it
Yeah.
anymore.
Right.
So,
And they all seem to have a great meaning to you.
Mhm.
So of high value. I mean, like quality things, with good purpose. I would say is what it sounds like.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoy Texas products.
Mm-hmm.
We do have some products that aren't from Texas, but we
Yeah.
do really enjoy the Texas products.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that's what we're really kind of hunting for, is to stay Texas wise, to support the local. And I don't know if you mentioned, or probably actually I know you did not yet, but we have the lady that hand makes purses and all these leather goods that are extremely impressive,
Wow.
and she's here locally as well. So it's the more we can do of that, that's kind of exciting to us.
Is that the same as it did get my attention, your purses, handbags?
Yes.
We're talking about the
Yes,
same
yes.
lady. Wow.
And
Yeah,
it's
they caught
very
my
impressive.
eye.
So, and she does hats, and they're absolutely beautiful for the rodeos coming up, and I've got my eye on one. I need somebody to purchase it, so I
pretty.
don't.
Christmas.
That's right.
Hint, hint. Great. Well, and you may have really kind of answered this, but obviously tell us a little bit, like, what is the approach you take in choosing and selecting the items? Do you have something special you do, or it's just...
No, we do try to try things. Some things we do order, and we will try it upon receiving it.
Kind of just taking the risk of trying the new things that we
Sure.
don't have access to immediately, and then we just kind of sift through, and what we don't like, well, we don't carry it anymore. you
Yeah.
know. But my thing was, the only kind of extra thing that I put in there was having some gifts for men.
Yes.
that we go into. You know, I go into all the shops with Kristen when we go shopping, and there's very limited things, you know, that catch men's eyes. So it's kind of like that was kind of the thing of my hinting in was, well, let's add some things that men can go, oh, hey, that's pretty. I like that. That's neat. I'll take one of those. So.
Yeah, and that's where some of the rustic, you know, items come into play. This is a coaster made out of a whiskey barrel, and we've got a smoking set here, which is, you know, we don't drink a lot, but it is really neat to see the smoke go down into the glass, and it's just a great visual.
It's neat. I've never been into any of that stuff, but you know, when you do it, it pulls the smoke into the glass. Then you know marry it, and you know whatever you want to call it. It mixes into it and not emulsifies, but it mixes into it and it changes the entire flavor of the beverage. So you could do like whiskey, or obviously it's whiskey it's made for that, but anything can be infused with the smoke and change it, and you know, it's kind of fun. So.
That is a very interesting product.
Different.
Pretty cool. Very different.
And they have more than just this. There's a lot of men's products, like a whole wall, or part of a whole wall at least.
Yeah. What would you say is the most unique item you have right now? Would it be that?
Goodness. I don't know.
I think probably our most unique thing would be the freeze-dried candy. That's a hit. That's fun.
Yes.
People like it. It shocked me when we got it. You know, when we started doing it, I was like, I'd never done this before, so it's kind of tasted. It's that's a very interesting thing, and to just grab one and go. I think all of the different the salts, the different seasonings, the different condiments, I guess you could call it. I think the variety of it, I think that seems to be what people like the most. That's what people grab and levitate towards. Yeah.
And we love to sample things. So if we have we'll oftentimes have samples out or things you can try, different salts and seasonings that you can try. Wow. So.
Great. I was going to ask you, so talk a little more about the freeze-dried candy. What exactly is that? And do you make it, or you have a vendor for it?
So we have the machine. We make it.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know all the details of it because it's still brand new to us. We're still figuring everything out. The goal for me, what I wanted to do is I wanted to get into storing freeze-dried like vegetables and fruits. Candy is fun, but I'm growing tired of candy. Yeah. My kids have had enough candy. It's time to move on. So we're just kind of waiting for the seasons to change and for produce that comes, seasonal produce that we could try to start utilizing. We want to do apples and bananas and vegetables in our spare time that we have.
Which I understand you don't have a lot.
It's not a lot, but it's a fun little hobby that we're playing with. Yeah. So we've been enjoying it.
Great.
We had Alyssa that said, I just stumbled across this and love, capital letters, hearing live from and about local businesses.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yes. It sounds like we're all in like minds about that. We just, the more I hear from, like last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked to Amy with Be Grateful and you guys, and just the love and desire of the historic downtown, small community, small town, thriving in that and just being part of the community, and just a love for all of those things.
I think that's been one of probably the most interesting things since we've started doing this is the amount of people that come in and are just kind of like, thank you. Like, I'm so glad to see something here.
Right.
When we got started, and even when we, this became an idea of the gift shop up front, because it wasn't originally, it was not the intent. And then, but it was kind of like, that was part of the excitement of when we walked into the building of just all of the different potential to really start setting roots in the community, and it's that building of the community of what my hope is. I'd like to see every one of the buildings filled with some sort of a shop. Start getting it that Fredericksburg vibe.
You remind me much of that, especially when you're talking about being able to sample some of those products. We were in Fredericksburg a few months ago, and that experience was just, that was so much fun. And
I love that store.
We love it. Yeah,
we know which one you're talking about, and it's amazing.
Yes, it's all over, just stacked. Of all of this stuff. Very cool. So. yeah, we're kind of like nearing towards the end of the questions that we have here from this conversation. Not that I'm stopping any conversation, so if something comes up, but it did make me think, okay, we need to specify where you guys are. You're downtown Floresville. You're actually on 3rd Street. And when did you actually open the storefront for that? It's just been...
right before the Peanut Festival.
Okay, yeah, very,
like
very...
a day before or 2 or 3.
Right,
Yeah, it was
right.
at the
Ideal time to open.
Yeah, right
really,
at the
in
line.
Floresville, yes.
And it was so fun. It's been really fun to meet the community, have people come in and just pop in and get to meet some different people.
Yeah, and having front row seat now
Yeah, to
for all the
parades.
activities and
Yes.
parades. We've gotten 2 awesome parades.
That's
The
right.
kids
Yes.
they're
Having a blast.
loving it. Yeah, a little too much sometimes, but yeah, they're having a blast. It's great.
Right. Yeah, 3rd Street's a great street to visit. All downtown, there really are quite a few shops here now that you can come downtown and just pop your head in and see what items they have. Very interesting, unique, and a love for Floresville and Texas. I love it. Yes. How many items would you say, what do you carry in terms of like having Floresville on it? Do you...
I only have a few right now. I do have, I think, a cute little bottle opener that has like the water well with Floresville in it.
Cute.
Really, we just wanted to kind of see what people were interested in, and if they wanted to see more,
Right,
you know.
right.
So we're just kind of getting our feels for.
Those gifts are great. They're probably not going to be something that moves very fast, but it's nice to have when you have, because we do have visitors to Floresville that
Yes.
come from
Yes,
out of
we've been
state all the time, and they like to carry something back home with them. Or you have the other, which is wanting to send family that's away something special. So it's good to know that we have more of this going on, that we can kind of share that love.
And on that note, I will share this, that they don't just do Floresville.
That's right.
Ah, yes.
Laverne
There's
is
some
also
Laverne
about
stuff.
that.
Yes.
Very cool.
And I know y'all had cowboys and stuff of this, right?
We
As
do,
well.
yes.
The nativity scene that we have is pretty
Oh,
impressive.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes, we have
it's
a
very neat.
cowboy nativity scene. It's pretty cute.
Yes.
So and
So come visit.
Yeah.
It's super, super cute.
Please.
Yeah, well, what are your hours? What are y'all looking at? Playful?
when we're there, we're open.
Great.
Yeah.
We hold a typical 9 to 5 during the week. Some Saturdays we are open. We're trying to save that for some downtime and family time. But usually during the week, you can find us there 9:30 to
We
5.
typically on Fridays
might
we typically stay late because everybody that goes and eats next door at Fluff's
You have a natural draw.
they'll have a natural draw
That's
in, and
traffic.
you know
That's
people have
nice.
asked, we've come by. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, we'll stay open a little
That's
later for these
good.
days. So we're kind of navigating that as we go. You
That's
know.
nice. Very nice.
And I actually had a question about the pronto processing. So
Okay.
is it civil processing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's go ahead.
So if somebody needed paperwork served, they could contact you.
Hopefully nobody needs me. Yes, that's correct. That's not. Hopefully nobody wants to use my services. But if they find that when they come into the need, then yeah, absolutely, that's what I do. I mainly am an investigator side of it. I find people, so I'm relocating people that disappear and hide and move or misplaced, and then we deliver all across the nation. So yeah, we go everywhere. So. We started off in the bail bond business, and then we went into bounty hunting, and all of that stuff. And then we had an investigation company, and all of that's gone. And now we focus just on the civil process stuff,
Okay, cool.
finding people.
I hear questions about civil process often, where they could go to find somebody. So
Yeah, well,
There's
it's an
need,
industry. It's an industry I think that gets, unfortunately, it doesn't get a lot of praise. Not many people like them. We don't make friends when we're working. But what I tell people too is if anybody that you want to be receiving notice from, it's kind of us, because we're friendly, we're nice, we're gonna help you, guide you in the direction you need to go. We don't give advice, but we can. People are scared of the industry. They're scared of it. Yeah. And it's also a great job for people that are entering retirement to do. I'm trying to get 3 or 4 other people on locally that have asked questions, and because everything that's going on, people are struggling, so it's another way to get work too. So anyway.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I just
Thank
wanted to
you.
make sure.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It is, and it's it's a necessary.
It is a part of the machine.
Right.
It can't move
Component.
forward. That's
Mhm.
right. Yeah.
Make some good points there.
We are needed, yes.
Mhm.
So, there wasn't any other comments, and I didn't have anything else.
That's been a great conversation. I've really enjoyed learning about WellServe Texas,
Thank you.
about you guys and how you got here and all that you're doing. Really, I think we could all say that it's going to be exciting to see what you do.
Thank you very much.
And glad to have you down the street.
Thank you very
good.
much.
Yeah. Again, we were talking today with Christin and Shawn Wells of WellServe Texas, where you need to go visit their gift shop because they have really cute items. They're located at, what is the address of on
1317.
1317 3rd Street, so
Yes.
downtown Floresville. And your phone number if someone wants to reach out. Are y'all putting that? My bad for not including it on my
Stop
notes.
on by.
She's got it.
To be determined.
So for Well Served, the phone number is 830-251-0340. And then for Pronto Process, it's
Yes.
210-226-7192.
Thank you.
And I'll post those here in just a minute.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
knowing
you.
our numbers that we forgot.
Yeah.
Paperwork helps.
But as always, they are here with a beautiful gift shop. So as you're in downtown Floresville and you grab a bite to eat, or you're doing some of your local business, then now you can just drop in and have a leisurely shopping experience as well. So we're adding to that experience in downtown Floresville. Really exciting. Thank you all for joining us today. It's been a great conversation, and we want to thank our sponsor, Price Chrysler Dodge Ram and Jeep here in Floresville. Their dealership is located on 181. Very large dealership. You can check out all the cars that they have. They have a huge service department, and you can shop for careers there too. Find them online at www.pricecdrj.com and show them some love and share this video far and wide. We look forward to seeing you again next week as we'll be on for another WCN Live right here from Wilson County News, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.